the future of Vault Hunters in update 18, I think I've realized something. I think I've realized a massive flaw with Vault Hunters that we can fix. I think one of the problems in Vault Hunters, like I read a lot about feedback, I listen to the community a lot, and one thing that I keep seeing is like, oh, the game is a bit too fast, and like I level up too fast, and my gear doesn't, I gotta get new gear, and it gets too hard, and all of these things. And I think there is value in that message. However, I don't think that making the game slower, progressing slower, is the answer. I think this problem is much bigger than that. And I know that Bobby, hello Bobby, I know that Bobby agrees with me, okay? I've been thinking about this for a long time, and I've been like, okay, how do we fix this? What's the problem here? I don't know. I want to hear how you guys react, okay? I think I might have fixed it. I think I might have come up with what we need to do. And I think this is going to make Vault Hunters 10 times better. Let me give you a bit more background, okay? Let me give you a bit more background before I get into it. I think one thing that is actually quite boring in Vault Hunters, that's actually quite bad. And I think this is a problem that a lot of games have. Like a lot of these type of games. Diablo 3, Diablo 4, Path of Exile, Epoch, Last Epoch. I think one problem is, do you play the game to play through the game, or do you play the game to get to end game? And I think the answer is most of the times like, okay, I just want to get to the end game. And why is that? Well, because there are end game activities, but in Vault Hunters, we don't really have any end game activities yet. I mean, you can do challenge vaults, you can do your own thing, etc. And more is coming. But the road to level 100 needs to be satisfying. And there is one problem that all of these games have, including Vault Hunters, that I think I've fixed. Gear, while leveling up, becomes a bit of a chore. What I mean by this is, you find like your amazing boots, like these boots, for example. But you know, as you find them on level 53, you know that like, okay, in 10 levels, they're going to be useless. They're not going to be as good. And 10 levels is like what? A couple of hours of game time? I don't know. Depends on what level you are. This is specifically visible early game, where you find this Omega sword, I don't think I have any left here from early game, but like this, like you find a sword early game and you're like super excited about it or whatever, right? You transmog it and everything, and you're level 10. Like half an hour later or 2 hours later, two vaults in, you're level 21 and that sword is useless. And so it's not an exciting thing to find. And so it actually becomes like a chore. Oh, I got a new armor tier that I'm reaching in 2 levels. So anything I find now is going to be useless. And I don't know if you agree with this, but I think this is a massive problem. I do. I think that this actually makes it so that I played Vault Hunters enough now to think, I know how I play. I'm like, it's no point in re-rolling it now. Like, let's wait. This amazing legendary helmet from level 53 with legendary armor, it's only going to be good for another 10 levels, 15 levels, maybe max. And then it's going to be too far behind. This makes everything becomes a little bit of a chore in Vault Hunters, like gearing up. So how do we fix it, guys? I think I have the solution, and I think it's super elegant, and I think it's very easy and very clean. What if you could level your gear up? What if you could go into the artisan station and using a focus, an exotic focus, I could say, take this, let's say that this is a level 10 legendary helmet. And I put it in here and I press the focus, and since I'm level 55, I bring it from level 10 to 55. So that when I find a really good gear piece, even if I find it early game, it actually matters later. Right? So early game, I find a level 10 sword that has a legendary attack damage roll. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I'm going to use it. I'm going to love it. And also I'm going to love it at level 55. Of course, if you could just do that all the time, it probably wouldn't be balanced. And also, here's another fact. If this operation would be too expensive, it would be bad early game because you could never use it because you would never have enough, resources to do so. So I think I've solved all of this. What if we add a new focus to the game? Let's call it, I don't know. What are we going to call it? I don't know what we're going to call it. Whatever. We call it whatever. The dark focus. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The dark focus. That sounds too dark. But let's say the carrot. What if we add the carrot focus to the game? Here we go. We add the carrot focus to the game. Advancing focus, that's actually quite good. And so anyway, we add the advancing focus to the game. And the way you get this focus is not in rare raid rooms or in vendors or anything like this. It's simply from scrapping gear. If you scrap an Omega gear piece, you always get it. If you scrap an Epic piece, there's maybe a 50-50. And if you scrap any other game pieces, you can't get it. That plus an incremental amount of bronze and plating, which is the core resources of the artisan station, depending on the level delta. So if I bring an item from 10 to 55, it's going to cost a lot of bronze, like 550. But if I bring it from 10 to 21, it's not going to cost that much. Now it's almost balanced. It needs something else though. It needs one thing. And this is the key. Because the risk with this is that you keep holding on to every item that you find, thinking that you'll upgrade it. What if it also takes a repair slot? Yeah, I think it's a fair trade-off that it also takes a repair slot. So it takes a repair slot, it takes this focus, which actually isn't that hard to come by. You come by Omega items every now and again, right? And Epic items. Can you not just craft level 1 items in the Forge and get a lot of them? Good point! Banana crazy, good point. Yeah, that's a very good point for why we can't do this. Thank you, dude. Thank you for ruining my idea. Thank you. No, it's dead. It's dead. We move on. We won't do it. No, this guy's right, and it's bloody annoying. But I have a fix for it. I have thought about it. I've thought about it. Look, because this increases, look, I can grandmaster craft things all the way up to what, level 40, level 39. Right? And this gives me a greater modifier chance. Because this works this way, crafted gear would not have the possibility to upgrade. And there it is. Simple. It's clean, it's simple. You just can't upgrade crafted gear. I think that's clean. Like sometimes you got to think about less is more, and you got to think about the clean solutions, and I think so. I think that if they have the crafted tag on them, you can't upgrade them. It's a great point though. Okay, well now we come to the interesting part, right? So when I upgrade this helmet, if I have this on level 53 and I want to upgrade it to level 100, 9 armor is actually not that great, right? Because it can roll 9 armor at level 100. The way I look at it is, when you upgrade something, as long as it's not a crafted tier, so as long as it doesn't have that pickaxe, it would actually upgrade the tier itself as well. So, and the way it would do this is if I hold Alt, I can actually see the tier here. So my mana region is tier 4. Now pay attention, it's going to get a little bit technical. I've rolled 43% mana region. That's the tier from 41 to 50, which is tier 4. If I look in how gear rolling works using this amazing add-on that Physec has made, and I look at a helmet, and we look at mana region, you can see that, okay, 41 to 50 is the top tier on this helmet. Okay, you guys are following so far? I've actually rolled the top tier. I've rolled 43%, which is the top group that this helmet can roll. Now, if I become level 100 and upgrade it to level 100, the top tier is 100% mana region. So, it would take the tier in relevance to how high it is for the current level and apply that to the upgraded item. So in this case, I would get the top tier mana region and it would roll the top tier mana region again. So 91 to 100. Let's take another example. Let's look at these boots. So the highest relative armor tier that I can roll is a tier 3 armor tier. Therefore, when it upgrades to level 100, I need to get the highest relative armor tier for that item as well, right? Meanwhile, the level of rejuvenation is a tier 1, so it would roll the tier 1. It's a bad example. Do I have anything that's low rolled or are all my items just cracked? Yeah, here we go. So I've rolled 3 health here, which is a tier 1 roll. So if I upgrade this to level 100, it would pick the tier 1 of health, which on level 100 is 2 to 6 health. The lowest tier is the same tier. So I would roll 2 or 3 again. But why reroll and just not do 43 to 93? Because how is the game gonna know that it's 43 93? Mana region was a very silly example because the groups are the groups are intense. We have a lot of other things that aren't intense. Let's take the champion damage here, right? So the champion damage is tier 1. So let's look at a level 100 sword. A level 100 sword is 11 to 30. So I would actually get the lowest group available, which would be 11 to 20, and it would roll 11 to 20. I feel like maybe I've confused a lot of you now, but I think this is doable. And as long as you can't do this for crafted gear, I think it's actually a very, very good feature. So when you're playing, like, how many of you have played Vault Hunters and found like an Omega item on like level 5? I remember Exuma, the first time he played it, he found like an Omega sword and Omega helmet and all was like on level 4. And he was like excited about this, happy about this, but by the time he was level 15, they were garbage. It kind of feels bad, exactly. Yeah, but even like on level 20, you can upgrade them and boom. All it does is uses a repair slot. I'm struggling to get better gear. Yeah, that's another thing. How many of you haven't been frustrated because you maxed out your gear, you like spent quite a lot of resources and stuff at like level 45, and you're like feeling great at level 45, and then at level 50 you're like, shit, I don't have resources, I can't actually improve. Am I right? Like, it can't just be me. Because I've felt like that a lot of times. And at that point, it becomes a chore. It's like, oh, I gotta run another gear hunt vault. I gotta do this. And it doesn't become fun to get gear. It becomes more of a, oh, I have to do this in order to continue to play. Okay, but the big question, will it really be in the form of a carrot? No, I can't make a carrot focus. Like level 50 is real difficult jump. It is, yeah, it is. And I like the difficult jumps. I like the Vault Hunters. Is the way I've done difficulty in Vault Hunters is I built staircases. And many people may not understand why I've done this instead of just making it linear. But Vault Hunters is basically like a staircase that is like this, right? In difficulty. And the reason for that is because in reality, these are longer as well. So like you have that staircase, then you have this step here. And the reason for this is because you want to have, the player is going to increase linear. So the player is going to go like this. So like by the time they reach the end of this staircase here, they're really powerful and everything feels great. And then they hit the difficulty wall. But you're allowing the player to feel overpowered for a while before you increase the difficulty. And then they hit it again. And at level 100, everyone who's played Vault Hunters all the way to level 100, if you maximize your gear at level 100, the vaults are not that difficult. They're not. Like, the mobs are not difficult. It's more about, like, how much can you loot, how efficient can you be, and stuff like this. And I think that's important. And so anyway, yeah, that's something that's coming in update 18, gear upgrading. Here's the last final piece to this, is that I also want to make a new block. Call it like, I don't know, the Mega Forge. And this would be a station that you can find either in its own room inside the vault, or rarely like as part of like the raid room reward or whatever. And what it would do is it would upgrade an item for free, without a focus, without taking a repair slot. So there is this chance, very low chance, very rare finding, that you can upgrade an item for free, which I think would be very, very cool. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, please do hit the like button down below. And if you're brand new, consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next episode.